on the morning drive.
Good morning once again and welcome to EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Today, the 15th day of November 2024. Today is a Friday and the time is 2 minutes past the hour of 7. It's time for newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. This morning we are going to take you through the news making headlines on Nigerian newspapers. But before we do that, let's go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making headlines. Please stay with us. You're welcome back to newspaper headlines on Ebon at the 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08065796599. This morning, we are going to take you through the news making the headlines on The Guardian, Leadership, Vanguard, Punch, Daily Post, The Nation, This Day, and if time permits, we're also going to take a look at the Nigerian Tribune newspapers. I am Martin. Let's get started with the Guardian newspaper this morning. Tinubu appoints Atiku's ex-aide Biwara as a media advisor. Cabinet okays a 47.9 trillion naira budget for 2025. Sanwo-Olu, UNICEF urge parents to be good role models. Lagos partners Koren on building collapse prevention. Opeburu orders a freezing of state accounts. Report reveals disturbing child deliveries in some northeast states. Wigwe Varsity Vice Chancellor charges matriculating students to pursue excellence. Court adjourns Falana files defamation suit against VeryDarkMan to January 23rd. Lagos Deputy Governor to headline 85th anniversary lecture of the Crescent Bearers. Oil-backed loans. OPEC quotas threaten federal government 47.9 trillion naira budget plan. Military. Others will stay neutral. Chief of Defense Staff vows as INEC distributes materials in Ondo. ECOWAS Court dismisses socio-economic rights and accountability projects train attack suit against Nigeria. Omotesho battles abdominal tuberculosis, seeks 10 million naira for surgery. NAD confirms release of kidnapped doctor after 10 months in captivity. Oborowori presents 936.7 billion naira budget proposal to Delta Assembly. Group wants illegal mining checked in North. Body of late Army Chief Labaja from to Abuja for burial. Leadway donates 117 trillion Leadway donates 117 million relief support to Brunei flood victims. Oyo sales hospitals as 4 die of suspected Lassa fever. Ogun Council poll. Labour Party urges electorate to elect credible candidates. Fagbemi urges State Attorney General to deepen collaboration for justice reforms. Alleged 110.4 billion naira fraud suit in FCC admits Yahaya Bello's co-defendants to bail. Guess November 27th adjournment. Alleged 110.4 billion naira fraud suit. EFCC admits Yahaya Bello's co-defendants to bail. Yes, November 27th adjournment. TILAC urges transparency in Ajokuta Steel Complex transactions. Lagos orders a revocation of unoccupied housing units. KAI demolishes 138 chanties, dislodges 169 illegal occupants in Ajo Estate. Court orders Federal University Oyekiti to pay 40 million naira to former dean for wrongful dismissal. Federal government secures $134 million African Development Bank loan to boost food production. Court remands Chinese national over alleged 301 million naira fraud. Federal government adopts new compensation rates for crops, economic trees. Court remands suspects over alleged armed robbery, murder, 24.6 million naira theft. Wigwe Varsity Vice Chancellor charges matriculating students to pursue excellence. Stakeholders canvass responsible use of digital space. Fire at Ikeja factory doused. Goods worth millions destroyed. Group falls PDP chieftain over support for street trading in Lagos. Arraignment of 133 foreigners over alleged cybercrime stalls. TVET unveils digital platform for artisans. Experts underscore importance of communication. Center for Crisis Communication cautions against publicity for Lukarawa insurgents. Suspected female arms dealers collapse in court. Suspected female arms dealer collapses in court. Lagos creates emergency protocols to reduce disaster death. Convert Museum of West African Art to hospital. Group tells Upeboro. Wike not responsible for crisis in Rivers. Aid. FRSC decorates new 61 officers cadre in Kanu. Women, youths most affected by corruption in Nigeria. ICPC boss. Plato joins 70,000 naira minimum wage implementer. Opeboro orders immediate freezing of state bank accounts. Orders. Gashaka Park initiative sees positive results in fight against illegal mining, climate threat. 32-year-old bride-to-be, 3 others die of suspected Lassa fever in Oyo. Part of 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy returned to federal government, NACON, enhancing data-driven insights and predictive analytics by Evans. That's the most we can take from the Guardian newspaper this morning. You are listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-6579-6599. From the Guardian newspaper, we'll flip over to Leadership newspaper. Court adjourns Falana files suit against VeryDarkMan to January 23rd. 51% women in Gombe still deliver at home. Governor Bala mourns renowned Bauchi Islamic scholar. Wike's aide urges Atiku to abandon 2027 aspiration. Week's aid urges Atiku. We've taken this. Stop spreading fears. Lukawa, insignificant center. Stop spreading fears. Lukawa, insignificant center. Oyo Kabas working against a private refinery. Adeboye. Tinubu appoints Daniel Biwala as media advisor. Safety. WACT commissions firefighting. Tow trucks. Others in One Port. Nigeria. Korea trade increases by 55% in Q3. CDI. MSP. Benue targets $70 million revenue from fooder production. Oborowore presents a 936 billion naira 2025 budget to Delta Assembly. Wike places FCDA secretary on indefinite suspension. Embrace peaceful conflict resolution. Global peace urges Kaduna leaders. Northern governors uncomfortable with VAT removal from FAAC. Sule. Curb menace of meningitis. Is artificial intelligence coming for the journalist? Leadership wins Best Print Portal Award. After Ondo campaigns, candidates face 1.7 million voters tomorrow amid outcry. Presidency defense tax bill. Late Army Chief Labaja for burial today. Customs, NAFDAC sign memorandum of understanding to safeguard public health. Federal government plans 47.9 trillion naira for 2027, raises budget by 66.4. UBA to raise 239.4 billion naira through rights issue. CureNet returns to Nigeria with second wellness lifestyle products expo. Fabwem father's appointment shows Tinubu won't forget anyone, says Oyo APC. Lokoja Varsity sacks 4 lecturers over sexual harassment, exam misconduct. US election. Trump's win increases deportation fears. TCFW 2024. Northern Nigerians Premier Fashion Showcase holds November 17. NMPCL announces 1.8 million barrel per day oil production, eyes 2 million barrel per day by year end. Ohaneze Ndị Igbo youth commends NMPCL's remarkable progress in crude oil production. Ondo 2024 vote out APC for ease anti-people policies. Makinde tells voters. Ugochinyere hails Kiari over NMPCL's reorganization. End of subsidy oil production increase. Kanu government raises alarm over incessant thefts in free drug programs. Leadership wins Best Print Portal Award. CCC warns media against glamorizing Lukarawa terrorist. 2 Ondo governorship candidates withdraw from race. Back Governor Ayedatiwa. Tinubu appoints Atiku's campaigner Biwala as media aide. Wike suspends FCDA executive secretary indefinitely. Like in Rivers, APC asks court to stop monthly allocations to Kanu local government areas. 2025, Oyo APC falls Governor Makinde's 679 billion naira budget proposal. Ondo 2024, Defense Headquarters assures of hitch-free governorship poll. Federal government to borrow fresh $2.2 billion to support economic recovery. Titan Wealth Investment Review, a comprehensive guide to simplify crypto trading. Federal government kicks over reps' move to establish 16 new health institutions. 24 million adults living with diabetes in Africa. World Health Organization. Police nabbed 3 for stealing phones of accident victims in Lagos. RKK Group unveils innovative renewable energy solution for Nigerian SMEs. Federal government proposes 47.9 trillion naira budget for 2025. Reps Committee hails appointment of new chief financial officer by NMPCL. Military working to thwart terrorist recruitment drive on social media. Defense headquarters. ISA Limited review. Enhance your trading career with this platform. Diaspora Group woes school children with incentives in Akwa Ibom. That's the much we can take from the leadership newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning, from the leadership newspaper, we'll flip over to the Vanguard newspaper. Roadside petrol hawkers and how they cheat unsuspecting motorists. Naira rises to 1,730 naira per dollar in parallel market. Court awards lecturer 40 million naira compensation over wrongful dismissal. Eco distribution Eco Electricity Distribution Company insists meter upgrade is free as FCCPA blows hot on meter malpractice. 2025 budget, federal government to borrow 13.8 trillion naira. Weakest aid to Atiku, you aren't destined to be president. Crude. NMPCL achieves 1.8 million barrel per day production, targets 2 million barrel per day. 2025 budget. We've taken this. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Ondoguba, Ebiseni remains Labour Party candidate, says party. Ondoguba, late Akeredolu's family endorses SDP candidate Akimboye. Ondoguba PDP. APC clash over peace accord violation. Ensure you pass integrity test. Yaga Africa tells INEC security. Rivers drama as PDP lawyers clash over case against pro-Wike lawmakers. ACC new political party emerges, vows to unseat Tinubu, rescue Nigeria. Edo Opeboro freezes government's account, reverses ministry's name. How to know if your phone is being tracked. NMPC hits gas production targets of 7.4 BSCFD, records 1.8 million barrel per day production. Investment and securities don't create a friction between us and SEC. CBN tells Senate. Naira depreciates to 1,740 per dollar in parallel market. Adetiba, Akiode, Reverend Dunapo, others celebrate Vanguard at 40. That's the most we can take from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. From the Vanguard newspaper, we'll flip over to the Punch newspaper. Experts identify Jigawa with high childhood blindness rate. Soludo pushes for Anambra's investment, economic growth. Alleged 110 billion naira fraud, court arraigns Yahaya Bello November 27th. IOM releases $668,000 for flood relief in Nigeria. Alleged local government poll, Ogun declares holiday, restricts movement. Group pledges partnership with government on security. After Punch report, Abiodun transfers a 250-bed hospital to South African investor. Vandals attacks a Lokoja Wagwarada transmission line, disrupt power supply. Opeboro freezes bank accounts, orders CP to end cult clashes. Benue recruits ex-servicemen to booster security outfit. European Union interested in Nigeria's stability. Ambassador designate. CBN donates tuberculosis treatment center in Bauchi community. Vandals attack Lokoja Wagwarada transmission line, disrupt power supply. Lagos Deputy Governor for Muslim Groups Anniversary Lecture. Lasema partners hospital agencies to improve emergency response. Experts decry diabetes drug costs as patients wish 14 million. Oyo confirms 4 deaths in suspected Lassa fever outbreak. Lukarawa group will be neutralized. Counter-terrorism boss. Troops kill 88 terrorists, arrest 228 suspects in 1 week. ECOWAS court rejects socio-economic rights and accountability projects compensation suit for Kaduna train victims. Oyo, Ogun assure residents of security during Yuletide. Oyo, Ogun assures residents of security during Yuletide. Tinubu appoints Atiku's spokesperson, media aid. Sokoto Hospital gives free drugs to people with disabilities residents. Family announces Pa Adekunle Benson's death. Wike suspends FCDA secretary indefinitely. Local government action. Rivers panel summons Wike Okocha. Jigawa PDP group rebukes Wike over smear campaign against Lamido. MBA demands justice as Yobe police deny disrupting court proceedings. Jigawa tragic bus accident claims 3 lives, many injured. Stakeholders highlight gains of gender inclusion in Northeast. Stakeholders highlight gains of gender inclusion in Northeast. Tertiary Education Trust funds asks indigenous investors to showcase innovations. Labaja military pays last respect. Burials holds today. Ondo governorship poll, military, police, man, boundaries. Inspector General of Police orders lockdown. Ondo governorship poll, military, police, man, boundaries. Inspector General of Police orders lockdown. Ex-Delta Governor Ifeanyi Okowa opens up after EFCC detention. Tinubu promotes acting chief of army staff. And that's the much we can take from the Punch newspaper this morning. You are listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-6579-6599. From the Punch newspaper, we'll flip over to the Daily Post newspaper. Benue government, IOM to strengthen support for IDP. Diabetes, we are waiting for death. Over 6 million Nigerians battle for life as cost of healthcare skyrockets. University of Calabar students express fears over possible collapse of hotels. Ogun, abandoned 250-bed hospital will start operations March 2025. Governor Abiodun. Police announce readiness for Ondo governorship election. Federal government increases inputs to farmers to discourage use of excessive chemicals. Lukarawa terror group will be neutralized soon. Counter-terrorism boss, Laka. Over 300 Edo Star teachers protest non-regularization of appointments by Obaseki administration. Tinubu appoints Daniel Biwara special advisor. Tax reform bills not against any region. Afenifere. Wike suspends FCDA executive secretary Hadi Ahmad. Tinubu focused on Nigeria, not Atiku presidency. And that's the much we can take from the Daily Post newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning from the Daily Post newspaper, we'll flip over to the Nation newspaper. Alleged 110.4 billion naira fraud, EFCC grants bail to Yahaya Bello's co-defendants. ECOWAS court rejects socio-economic rights and accountability project suit over 2022 Kaduna train attack. Absence of legal representation stores trial of 109 foreigners. Our task force out to curb child practices. Our task force out to curb child practices. Governor orders freezing of Edo accounts. Health workers migration dangerous to healthcare system, says Rep Committee. Opeboro, Bat died on my bed day after governorship poll. Troops deplete terrorist capability in North, says Defense Headquarters. Why federal government didn't implement Supreme Court's decision on cancel by Fagbemi. Ondo 2024, Chief of Defense Staff assures parties of impartiality. Emefiele, CBN board didn't recommend Naira redesign to Buhari, ex-deputy governor tells court. Cosmates eulogize Labaja as service of songs. Lagos to address flash flooding. Sego takes oath as Lagos National Union of Road Transport Workers Chair. We will promote creative industry. Party chieftain greets Makinde on birthday, gets kudos on birthday. At 85, Crescent bearers maintain ideals of founders. Still on the stories making headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. AFCON 2025 Super Eagles Benin settle for draw. Federal Executive Council approves 47.9 trillion naira as 2025 budget estimate. Recapitalization. UBA opens to 239.4 billion naira rights issues. Recapitalization. UBA opens to 239.4 billion naira rights issues. NMPCL raises crude production to 1.8 million barrels per day. Still on the stories making the headlines on the Nation newspaper this morning. Counter-Terrorism Center. Lukarawa's terrorists insignificant. Federal Executive Council okays $2.2 billion new borrowing plan. Supreme Court delivers judgment Friday in State versus EFCC case. Nasarawa governor insists on amendment to tax reform bills. Tinubu picks Biwara as special advisor on public communications. First Lady for Ebonyi Women's Day today. Court fixes Falana's son's defamation suit against BDM for January 23rd. Niger Delta leaders urge Tinubu to address road environmental issues. National Orthopedic Hospital holds a training on trauma care skills. Nigerian wins women leader in law at Africa Legal Awards. FEM launches a transportation app. Community celebrates unity, honors indigenes at 38th Festival. Sterling, African Fashion Week, Nigeria partner to empower sector. That's the much we can take from the Nation newspaper this morning. From the Nation newspaper, we flip over to this day newspaper. IMF, children born in Nigeria order resourceful rich African nations 25% more likely to live in poverty. Sokoto Police Command, Hamdia Sidi arrested over public incitement, not criticizing governor. UBA begins 239.4 billion naira capital raise via rights issue, paves way for strategic expansion. Saraki eulogizes late father Oloye at 12th year remembrance special prayers in Ilorin. Leasing Association, Nigerian economy working on its knees. FCDA Executive Secretary Yadi Ahmad suspended indefinite. You are listening to newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. We'll now go for a short break. When we come back, we'll continue on the stories making the headlines on this day newspaper. Please stay with us.
Memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have Ebona at the 103.5 FM, here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach Ebona at the 103.5 FM. OGIDI today to document your event. Ebona the 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages feature on magazines, photo books, and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 08065 796599 or you visit EBEONADI 103.5. Vacancy. Are you a DJ? Do you speak English and Igbo language fluently? Submit your CV and the letter of application at EBEONADI 103.5 FM OGIDI, opposite Omunike Boys, inside Residency Hotel Leofi OGIDI, on or before Friday, 15th of November 2024. Residency Hotels Leofin Ogidi. Ogidi's #1 place for all type of events. Burunia Dewa from corporate to social gathering or any type of parties, even end of year parties on the club. We have air-conditioned hall, an outdoor space of a very good capacity. When Neviano come, let us celebrate your event in style. Residency Hotel Leofin Ogidi. If you are somebody with a zibote taste, when Emmanuel back in the I want delicious meals, drinks and spirits brewed in different parts of the world. For booking, call 081 45 678901. One more. Come, let's make your event come through the way it's dream or your plan of wire. Residency Hotels Leofino Gidi or Gidi's best place for premium events. Ask for an amaboroge, Wakozian de Haki. Police for vigilante. Now my business. When I was telling you, HJ radio drama, very cool. HJ radio drama, Erico, Ghana Dialogue, every Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. With broadcast on Saturday, 3 o'clock p.m. Now, EBEONADI 103.5 FM. If you move, I finish your business.
Diocese on the Niger, Anglican Communion, St. Michael and All Angels Anglican Church, OGIDI, cordially invites you to her parish inauguration and induction of pioneer parish priest, Reverend Chukwuemeka Olesai. Date, Sunday, 17th November 2024, 9 a.m. by His Lordship, the Right Reverend Dr. Owen Chetoziomokulu, JP, Bishop on the Niger. Highlights, fundraising and cutting of inauguration cake. Signed, Okechukwu Agwog, Secretary, Planning Committee, Chukwuka Okafo, Chairman, Planning Committee, Reverend Chukwuemeka Olesai, Priest, Venerable Sunday Okafo, Parish Priest, Venerable Frank Obi, Archdeacon, Ogidi Archdeacon. Glory be to God.
Oge ndị ime ahịa bụ nnekwu ohere ewepụtara maka ịkwalite ebe ife mmetụ aka gị ma ụlọ azụmahịa gị. Mara na ihe dị mma n'anya bụ nwanne. Kedu uru oge ndị ime ahịa ga-abara gị?
Uru oge ndị ime ahịa ga-abara gị site n'oge ndị ime ahịa, ị ga-enweta nnukwu ohere akpọrọ discount n'ọnụ bekee maka ịkwalite ebe azụmahịa gị. Mara na ya bụ ohere ga-amalite mgbe ọbụla ebe ọ na-adị nwuchiri kpọmkwem n'ime ahịa.
Keduzi ihe ị na-eche? Gbapụ ya ọsọ kpọtụrụ ndị 103.5 FM na akara ekwentị ndị a na 080-657-96599, ọzọkwakwa na 080-657-96599. Oge ndị ime ahịa, oge nnekwu ohere.
Ogidi Kwenu, Ndogidi Kwenu, Adogidi Beauty Show is here again. Adogidi 2024. Now, are you up to 18 and above? Register now and win up to 1 million naira. Ebonwa land or Wadiana. Come and represent your heritage where beauty, brain, and culture blends, empowering the women, enhancing excellence, beauty with a purpose, supporting education, and securing a future. For forms and inquiries, please call or WhatsApp 080-6329-0766 or 090-13566-263. Social media platforms at Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook at Adogidi Beauty Pageant. Forms are available at all residency hotels nationwide. And the deadline for the registration is on the 10th of December 2024. Adogidi Beauty Pageant Show. Don't miss out. Arise. Kunye.
You're welcome back to Newspaper Headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 080-6579-6599. We are on to this day newspaper. IMF, children born in Nigeria reaching a milestone. Federal government says it has hit 1.8 million barrel per day crude oil output, targets 2 million barrel per day. Saraki eulogizes late father Oloye at 12th year remembrance special prayers in Ilorin. Adelabu, federal government taking action to boost power supply. Azura advocates a $500 million capital base for discos. Sokoto Police Command, Hamdia Sidi, arrested over public incitement, not criticizing government. Wema Bank emerges best SME and digital innovator at Global Retail Banking Awards. Bayelsa education reforms, big steps in the right direction. ISB 2024 proposes a 20 million naira fine, 10 years jail term for Ponzi operators. Again, aviation experts raise concern over open sky lopsided agreement, insist it's unprofitable. Lekki Port, Lekki Freeport Terminal, Lagos Free Zone welcomes COSCO shipping. Others. NEPSA, Kogi government moves free trade zone to boost state's economy. That's the much we can take from this day newspaper this morning. Still on the stories making the headlines on Nigerian newspapers this morning. From this day newspaper, we'll flip over to Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Diaspora group endorses Ayedatiwa. Ex-lawmaker Lord Tinubu EFCC over probe into $35 million Atlantic refinery project. World Diabetics Day. FTHL sensitizes screens over 120 residents. Civil society organizations reject Coastal Guard bill. Navy commissions Niger Primary School. Plateau. Mine incident shows illegal mining now national malice. RDI. SEC proposes 20 million naira fine, jail terms for Ponzi scheme operators. Wike suspends FCDA Executive Secretary Yadi Ahmad. Sanwo-Olu's wife, experts advocate modern parenting for boy child. Equities market dips by 0.3% as sell-offs wipes out 148.2 billion naira. Lukarawa, federal government dismisses new terrorist groups threats. Lukarawa, federal government dismisses new terrorist groups threats. Oyo, Ogun, governments reassure provision of adequate security during yeartide. Federal government commits to safe return of refugees to original homes. 2027, PDP's presidential ticket no longer available to you. Weakest aid, tells Atiku. And that's the much we can take from the Nigerian Tribune this morning. That will also mark the conclusion of all that we have for you on this particular edition of newspaper headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember that you can become part of the conversation by sending your reactions via SMS or WhatsApp messages on 08065796599. We now flip over to our WhatsApp portal for reactions. From our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message is coming from famous Christian. He's joining us from Ifite Village, Aguluzibo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we have this message. This one is coming from Agunabo. He's joining us from Ofa Aguluzibo, and he says Articles X8 appointed by Tinubu is a welcome development, is a welcome addition to His Excellency, and a good positive response to the economy. To end the subsidy removal is existing problem because nothing is being done before removing it. Borrow wahala, Nigeria to borrow another money, and the one we borrowed, we don't see any income from the borrowing and spending on traveling and settling. He said kidnappers and criminalizing, siphoning it, and he says sharing it among themselves. He says, voting in Ondo State, we don't have any single trust on INEC and judiciary. He says, counter-insurgency and terrorist saga continues. He says, the fighting, the fighting is on newspaper articles and not on the ground. And he says the best way to stop them is better to call them out and give them amnesty and to stop the hot. Okay, I didn't get the last thing he said, but he says that the best way to tackle it is to call them out and settle with them. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Agonabo joining us from Ofa Aglozibo. So we also have this message. This one is coming from Waloto Patrick from Monteje, and he says, for weakest aid to urge Atiku to abandon 2027 aspiration indicates that his principal Wike has the ambition to contest for president in 2027, and probably Atiku is his greatest threat. I hope Tinubu did not appoint Atiku's former spokesperson as his media aide just to undermine Atiku's political strength in 2027. Anyway, that is politics for you. And going by this, Atiku does not need a prophet to tell him that he should buckle up, that it is not going to be business as usual in 2027. Maloto Patrick from Monteje, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We also have this message. This one is coming from Valentine Edene from Mumbo, and it says, Lukarawa terrorist group is now trying to take over the northern part of Nigeria. This simply means their agenda is not different from Hamas and Hezbollah. What if Nigeria does not have army, navy, and air force like some other countries I know? What could be our fate? Valentine and Dene from Mumbo, thank you so much for joining us this morning. From our WhatsApp portal, we'll flip over to our SMS portal. On our SMS portal this morning, we have this message coming from Godwin from Godwin Ayebunam from Umumbo, Ayamelum local government area of Anambra State. And he says, appointment of Atiku's former aide as special advisor on media by Tinubu shows that Nigerian politicians are birds of the same feather. This is clear that the politicians are after their selfish interests. Why can't they come together and save Nigeria from total collapse? May God help Nigeria. Godwin Anya Ebunam from Umumpo, Ayamelum, local government area of Anambra State. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Still on our WhatsApp portal this morning, we have this message. This one is coming from young grandma from Udume, and she says, I'm getting confused the more concerning Wike's behavior in this country, or is he the one that decides who stays in the office or not, that he can suspend that man? Okay, thank you so much for joining us this morning, young grandma from Udume. On our SMS portal this morning, we have a message. This one is coming from Onyekachi from Iyowa, and he says, European Union are working for Nigeria's stability to protect the businesses they established here since 5,000 years. And he says, Egypt, Italy, Charles Holland, religion and economic Italy, and England, they are apartheiders, not colonizers. Onyekachi, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And with that message from Onyekachi from Iyowa, this is the spot where we'll call it a day on this particular edition of Newspaper Headlines on EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Remember, it comes your way weekdays in the morning once it's 7 o'clock. So keep a date and don't touch the dial of EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Once it's 8:20 this morning, we'll be back with an exciting program of Birthday Splash. So stay with EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Till we meet again, I am Martin. Have a blessed morning.
The challenges of documenting memories in the 21st century is gone. When you have EBEONADI 103.5 FM here, what are you celebrating today? Birthdays, wedding anniversary, traditional wedding, chieftaincy conferment, or fala, etc. Approach EBEONADI 103.5 FM OGIDI today to document your event. EBEONADI 103.5 FM offers you live coverage of your events on radio and social media, video and photo coverages, feature on magazines, photo books, and others, news coverage of political and other events. Take this offer and receive a complete coverage. For more information, call or WhatsApp 08065796599 or you visit EBEONADI 103.5 FM OGIDI opposite Ogunike Boys inside Leovin Residency Hotel OGIDI. EBEONADI 103.5 FM. Napapoa production. Police for vigilante. My business is When I was telling you, ATJ radio drama, Erico. Akụkọ ihe mere n'iwe ATJ radio drama Erico ga na-abịara gị every Monday 8 o'clock p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Saturday 3 o'clock p.m. na EBEONADI 103.5 FM.
Amara mi le wa di amo. Ko na ka do do na na ko na ni ko na ni. Nke ka ku ke wala ala ma mu na ya ma le si.
Ekwekwala ka akọl gị nke a akọl Vacancy, vacancy, vacancy. Are you a DJ? Do you speak English and Igbo language fluently? Submit your CV and the letter of application at EBEONADI 103.5 FM OGIDI, opposite Omunike Boys, inside Residency Hotel BOP OGIDI, on or before Friday, 15th of November 2024. Residency Hotels Leofil OGIDI, OGIDI's #1 place for all type of events. Burunia Dewa from corporate to social gathering or any type of parties, even end-of-year parties on the club. We have air-conditioned hall and outdoor space of a very good capacity. When Neviano, come, let us celebrate your event in style. Residency Hotel Leofil OGIDI. If you are somebody with a zibote taste, when Emmanuel back in the I want delicious meals, drinks and spirits brewed in different parts of the world. For booking, call 081 45 67 8901. One more. Come, let's make your event come through the way.
Guys, thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, right?
Residency Hotels Leofil OGIDI's best place for premium events. Ask for an